Hello everyone, welcome to another video in our Exchange 2013-2019 Coexistence series, and in this video we're looking at part 11, which is migrating user mailboxes from Exchange 2013 to Exchange 2019. Now, just to recap, in our previous video, which was part 10, we looked at configuring our certificates, where we exported our SSL certificate from 2013 and imported it onto 2019 and assigned services. Now, in Exchange, you can basically do moves from the admin center and the management shell, which I have open here. So the first part is, if you want to know where to find a mailbox database, for example, where it's housed, you can log into the admin center and it should default you to recipients and then mailboxes. If you double click on a user, you'll see that it looks similar to Active Directory because it shows obviously the attributes of the account. And if I click on the more settings, you'll notice that it is sitting on, I just labeled this 2013 DB for ease of reference instead of having the long mailbox space database with a long number. And it makes it easier to do migrations. So I can do a migration on the right hand side. I can click on to another database, or I can go to migrations and I can obviously start a migration batch from there. So if I want to do something from here, I click on to another database. Now you'll notice I'm using Chrome, because if you try and do this on Internet Explorer, it gives you a page error. So I'm going to call this user A migration. So you have a couple of options. You can say move the primary mailbox and archive it when it exists. You can move a primary without the archive, or you can just move the archive. So in this case, we're going to leave it as the default, and I'm going to select my target database, and I'm going to the 2019 DB. As you can see, I've labeled it for ease of reference. And here I can set the bad item limit. Now, I generally leave it 10. If I'm doing mailboxes that are like 20, 30, 40, 50 gigs, I generally make it a little bit more because there might be corruption. Click on next. Now, it's going to tell you or ask you where you want to send the report. So you can specify a user from the list by clicking browse. Any user. In this case, it's just my Edward account, and I'm going to say start the batch automatically and complete it. Once that is done and selected, I can click on new. Now what it's going to do is going to prompt you, do you want to go look at the migration dashboard? And we can click yes. On the migration tab under recipients, you can see that user A is migrating. Now, I can also do a move here as well, instead of being under recipients. So if I click on the plus, next to the plus is a drop down, click on that. I can click on the plus sign and I can choose user B, for example. And I can click next. So we'll call this user B migration. Again, I'm going to select my 2019 server, click OK, leave it as that, click next, my account will receive it, and obviously I'm going to automatically start it. And then I'm going to click new. So now that I have two running from here, you can start it either from the migration tab or from the mailboxes tab. And depending on how long or how big they are, it obviously has to first sync and then finalize. Now what we can do is we can actually go to our management shell. And if I wanted to see where a mailbox is sitting, I can type get-mailbox user C. Right? User C, it tells me that I'm sitting on this server, so I know that it's a 2013 mailbox, but it doesn't tell me much more. So if I pipe it now to format the list, it's going to bring a whole lot of attributes on this mailbox, regarding the primary SMTP if you wanted to know all the fields, etc. If we scroll to the top, and you can see there's quite a few attributes that you can set. Let's just keep on going. You can see there's a couple. You can see that we are sitting on 2013 DB. If I want to make this easier, I could just format list, and I want the database field. I can see exactly where the user is sitting on which database. Okay, perfect. Now let's do the migration. So if I go new move request, user C minus target database, and in this case it'll be 2019 DB. I can do it like this. I can specify bad item limit if I wanted to, and then I can press enter, and now you can see that we've kicked off migration using the Exchange Management Shell. Okay, that's great. If I don't want to work in the admin center, how do I get a view of all my migrations that are taking place? I can do a get-move request, and you can see that the other two haven't started yet. So that's why I prefer the management shell, because it's actually quite quick. If I want to see what the percentage is, I could do a get-move request, and then I could do a get pipe it to a get-move request statistics, press enter, and you can now see that it's completed. Okay, great. What about my other mailboxes? Okay, so if I go back here and I do a refresh, you can see that it's still syncing. So if I go look at the details, there's nothing yet to show. So obviously this is going to take a little while to run, but you get the gist of running a migration from the admin center versus running it from the management shell, and also how to get these statistics for a move request. So let's just quickly see if we do one last check. User A and B haven't started moving yet. So once they start moving, you'll obviously be able to see the statistics for those user accounts. So that's it for part 11. Stay with us for the next parts on user connectivity within Exchange 2013 and Exchange 2019. Thank you very much for watching.